Massachusetts Prepper here. Today, like I told y'all, we got the Crown Berkey water filtration system. So we got our sight glass here. We upgraded to that. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box. All its protective wrappings. We'll go ahead and get all this stuff off. The great thing about this is it's in its storage position right now, where the part that sits on top that lets the filters all work and drain down into the lower chamber, it slides right down into the lower chamber to give it this compact form. So this thing is going to be like 30 some odd inches tall once everything is said and done. This little thing here, I have to show you this. You have to make sure you don't lose this thing. This is very important to the priming of your filters because it actually goes on the top of your Berkey black filter after it's, or before you actually put it into the system. This sits on top and you jam it up into your faucet, force some water through it until water weeps through here, gets all the black activated carbon or charcoal or whatever it is out of these black Berkey filters and kind of flushes them. Okay guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get this sight spigot installed, and they said they simplified the installation. Instead of having two rubber washers, you can see the rubber washer right here. Instead of having two, they have made one beveled washer, and that fits up against the stainless steel focus, and that fits up against the stainless steel outside, and then you use your nut to tighten it on the inside. Hand tight, do not over tighten. They stress that multiple times in the instructions. So also I need to mention there is two different ways this lever right here works. When you pull it down, it has an automatic release where it just comes right back up. If you spin it, it will lock. Now I see that as causing problems. I can see in my household anyway, I can see one of the kids filling up a water bottle, putting that in the down position, walking away, coming back a half hour later with the tank drained all over the kitchen floor. So for my application, we're going to turn that around so it's in the automatic shut off. As soon as you let go, it pops back up. That's the way we'll do it here. Now there's just a small opening in here that this fits into, and then you secure the nut on the inside, and we'll go ahead and secure that with the little Velcro that they give you, just enough so it sticks, and then I will adhere it where it needs to go. Does that look straight up and down to you, Mrs. MP? And we're good. Okay, so now we have our valve, and it is in the automatic flip up spot versus the stay down, find water all over the floor spot. So you just screw that on there until it's flush.
Would it fit if you pop that off?
Mrs. MP is thinking if I take the aerator off, it might work better. So you know what? We're going to see if it works better with the aerator off. Put some light on it. You can see the water spraying everywhere, but you can see how the water is weeping through the filter. So the Crown Berkey actually has room for 8 filters. Now with 8 filters, this will purify and filter about 26 gallons of water per hour. We're only going to be using 2 filters, and with 2 filters we'll get about 6 gallons of water per hour, and with our family size that is more than enough water filtered per hour for our needs. So they provide you, when you only buy 2 filters, they provide you with these nice little plugs and wing nuts that go on the inside to plug up the other holes. 2 washers on these. Take 1 washer off, insert it into a hole where you're not going to have a filter. Place the washer back on and the wing nut, and tighten hand tight. We have all of our plugs installed in the bottom, and now the only thing left to do is put our 2 filters on here and the other 2 holes. So we'll go ahead and show you how we do that. You make sure you have this rubber gasket on, because that's going to be your seat for the inside of the filter to keep water from leaking through. So we will carefully put this through here. And there used to be a problem with these where the filter part would actually break away from the plastic housing that kept everything held together. You had to be very careful when you were securing these that you didn't over tighten it and strip it or break the housing loose. So just be mindful of that when you're doing this. You got it? Now, from my understanding, they have since fixed the problem where the filters were coming loose from that plastic housing and allowing water to seep through without being filtered. But I would still just be very mindful of that when you're putting these on, to snug them down without over tightening them and without putting extra stress on the filter housing. And as you can see, there's our 2 filters in there. And like I said, this will hold 8 filters. Now once I add some water to this, I'm going to check just to make sure that the water is coming through the bottom, these bottom spigots right here. You can see that. I'll make sure the water's coming through there and not leaking around here. Okay, so this is where we got the Crown Berkey sitting right now. This is in its final resting place. The stand and the fluoride filters are going to be coming, because one thing you need to keep in mind, if you fill this thing full and it's already like at this level right here, it's going to overflow because there is not a tight seal here. This pitcher right here holds a gallon of water, so this is what I'm going to use to pour water into the Berkey system. And this isn't where the Berkey's going to actually stay. It's actually going to be in the corner. I do have a stand that's that I have ordered that's going to be here on Monday, along with the fluoride filters. But this is just going to be the initial flow through the system. And if I pick this up, you can see water is coming through the filters themselves and not from around the filters.
It's too dark now, I lost the spark now. I've got a second way to home, but all my friends, how they turn my weak sides.
But we're getting the stand for the system, so that way we don't have to have it sitting there on the edge of the counter. I'm actually going to move it back towards that corner. That way it's not in direct sunlight. This is the Berkey water purification system. It's up and running. We're going to be using this in our house, and I'll let y'all know how the filters hold up over time. Will you survive whatever comes your way? I sure hope so. This is the Massachusetts Prepper saying, take care all. I'm going to take and lay these all out for you and show you what it is, and then tell you how you can get a chance to win one of these. So what we're going to do is, number one, you're going to have to be a subscriber to my channel. Number two, you're going to have a beard. No sense in getting beard balm if you don't have a beard. Now your beard